So that was fun. Just realized my audio was not on for any of that, but okay. I guess I'll have to go back over and dub over it. So now I want to talk about um, putting, so let's close some of these views. I want to go to our first floor. Let's start with the basement. I currently have no intention of putting anything down here, so what I'm going to do is just give this a room name. So we're going to start with room. So if I'm outside, it actually says it's not enclosed. If I come in here, it's enclosed. You might notice it says room, there's a box, and then there's a square footage. There's three types of basic room tags. There's one that just says the room, so it's the room and the room number. If I change the room tag with area, that gives me the area. And then there's volume. Volume, you need to set some other parameters, but it'll give you the volume of the room. So I'm just going to do room with area. I come here. I'm going to call this basement, and I'm going to number this B01. Fine. We have one room named. I'm going to go to the first floor, and I'm going to start my rooms again. I'm going to choose a spot. I'm going to put it in, and it starts with the same room numbering, starting with a B, and it goes to the next number. So I'm going to actually now go back. I'm going to undo this. I'm actually going to get rid of this door because I just realized we have a basement here now. I'm going to change our floor. I'm going to wrap around the stairs. And I'm going to now trim and extend TR to trim and extend. I'm going to select this wall. So I'm going to come across there and make that all work out. Okay, no. I'm not going to bother with some of the other things with this. I'm going to just put a door on here, have it face outward for now. Yeah, okay. I kind of want to be able to give our porch, even though it's outside, a room number. One of the things you can do, because right now you see it doesn't bind anything, is you can use the room separator. So what I can do here, I can select that, and I can draw a line from a wall around the porch to the other wall. And now when I go to put a room, it sees this as a room. And so since this is a new floor, I want to start, I'm going to call this porch, and I'm going to call it 101. And I'm going to come inside, and I'm going to put, let's save it for now. I forgot something kind of critical. This is a two-family. So I need, and I don't want to put a sprinkler system, so I want to make this an R5. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to put a wall, and I'm going to use our interior 1 hour 2x4 wall that we created. I'm going to go back 5 feet. I'm going to come up to the edge of the stair. And then just for argument's sake, I'm going to come to this basement wall here. I'm going to get rid of that one we put in under the stairs earlier. And I'm just going to trim and extend. Oh, move reference, unjoin, delete, because it can't do all the things that we had it doing. I'll pull this over a bit. I'm going to align this wall to the edge. I'm imagining what's going to end up happening in this design is that I'm going to take the fireproofing underneath the stairs to basically wrap that corridor. I'm going to align this wall to the front of there. I'm actually going to turn this door keep hitting spacebar until it turns the way I want it. I'm now going to flip this door around there. First I'm just going to move MV. I'm going to grab the center line of the door, line to the center of the window, and get rid of the window. I guess I accidentally deleted the one from the other before. We're not going to go too much further into that here, but we're going to leave it there. And now we're going to continue our room numbering. Porch meet 101, stairs. I'm going to put that there. Did you just see what happened? I don't know if you did. I'm going to take that out. And come here, click this in here. Notice how this all highlights blue. But this room, this stair goes up, and this is something completely different that's going down. So this would be another situation where I can use a room separator and just sort of choose the halfway point, cut across. And now these are two separate ones. So I'll put a room here, and then I'm just going to go around. And I want this to fit in this closet, but it doesn't really fit too well. I'm going to hit the space bar, and you'll see it turns the tag. I plan on taking out the square footage on this one just because I don't think it's relevant really to give a square footage of a closet, but that's up to you. We'll put that there. We'll do the same thing for this closet, the bathroom I'm going to give, and then the stairs to the basement. Now I'm going to name all these rooms. You can click on the tag, make sure I'm on the part that says room, and I can call this living room, dining room, kitchen. I can name this one Unit 2 stairs. This one we'll call stairs because that'll just go to the basement. Bathroom. And then I start having these rooms have the same name, and especially when you start having more and more, I don't know if I really want to go through the process of naming each one of them bedroom, bedroom, bedroom. So here what I think I'll do is I'm going to hover over, I'm going to hit tab until that's the actual room. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So that is the room it created, bound by these walls with this area. And I'm going to come down to the identity data, and I'm going to give that room a name, bedroom. Now both of them changed. I'm going to do the same thing for these closets. I'm actually going to take the S off. And now both of these became closet. I'm going to choose both of these tags. Hold the control so I can select both. I'm going to choose the room tag that doesn't have the area attached because I don't think we need to show that. I don't know if it's relevant. It doesn't seem relevant to me. And I'm just going to move this someplace. I actually don't think these need areas either, just especially since it's more a multi-floor situation, doesn't really fit. One of the things you'll notice is that green line. So that green line basically shows the tag's relationship to the center of the tag. So if I pull this tag out of the room, it gives me an error telling me basically this isn't in the room's over there, what are you doing? So what I could do is hit move back to room, and then let's say, well, maybe, especially in this situation here, it's not really clear. So I can click on the tag, hit leader, and now I can bring this outside of the room, and it creates a leader. And I can move the leader around and have it basically look a lot better. Now this is cleaner. Okay. And I just want to send this someplace. Later on we can add a kitchen or something, and maybe I'll box this out to put utilities in here, or a washer dryer, who knows. And we're in the construction plan, so I'm going to add some dimensions. I'll start with some overalls. I'm going to get some, yeah, that's a decent one. Now we're going to get some more specific ones. You know what, we already put dimensions on our main floor. Yep, there they are. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, or go to the copy. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say align to current view. And put that there. And I'm going to add some other dimension. I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit Edit Witness Line, and I'm going to connect it to the outside there and bring this tag over. And I'm just going to add some additional dimensions. And I'm going to do the same. Like I'm going to copy this, go over here, align to current. I'm going to add on that outside one. I'm going to pull it outside of this section line here so it's cleaner. And I get some overall. Now this is a pretty decent construction plan. Obviously I could add in more dimensions, like especially around this area, but just for now, for our purposes, this works. Now I want to start talking about sort of windows, doors, and some of those things. So, oh, actually, before we even get there, what I want to do is talk about creating a presentation plan. So we have this plan which works well as a construction plan. And if we go to the sheet we created called plans, now we've got dimensions. You know, it's a pretty decent plan. But what we don't have, it's a little technical. We can consider doing things like we turn on, oh, that's not the button I want. You come in here. Okay, apparently we can't. What can we do? How can we make this? Oh, went too far. We'll have to get into that another time. Um, we can think about how do we, oh, you know why it's not working? I know exactly why. I'm going to come to this one just for now. We can turn on shadows, and that's okay. It kind of gives it a little depth. But I don't think that's the right way to go about it. But what we can do to make this a slightly more appealing plan, especially just something quick and easy to read, I'm going to take this plan, I'm going to duplicate. I'm not going to duplicate with the detailing because I don't want it to show the dimensions and some of the other things. I'm just going to duplicate as is. I'm going to turn off, so I'm going to come down here. That plan I was using a view template. Now, view templates are useful, especially when you start having multiple of the same types of views. So what you can do in a view template is set up a template where things are the same across all of them. So in here, I have the same things on and off on all of the architectural construction. So every one of the construction plans I created uses that template. It sets the what's on and off in the annotations and all the view. It also shows what's the view looks like, including the lighting, the shadows, what the view range is, so they're all cut at the same height. The orientation, so it's project north versus true north, which way it's even looking up or looking down. So if you want to make a ceiling plan, you probably want to have it look up. And what the phase of it is, the disciplines, so on and so forth. And then you see this one color scheme. So this one doesn't have a color scheme set, but I created one presentation plan, and that one has currently no color scheme, but we're going to go into that, and we're going to go to, instead of spaces, we're going to go to rooms. I'm going to go by room name, and you'll notice it automatically took all the room names and grouped them together so that they're the same. And I might want to come back and instead of unit 2 stairs and stairs, maybe I'll, oh, let's turn the scheme on. I must include it. And let's figure out why else that isn't showing. So name, okay. You know what it is? Back here, rooms is not on. So I turn rooms with a color fill on. So now each of these rooms has a color scheme attached to it, which is kind of cool. And so I'm going to rename this now to first floor presentation. And I'm going to the basement and I'm going to duplicate that one without the detailing. And I'm come down here and I'm going to change the view template to the presentation plan and it'll do the same thing. And then I'll come over to the second floor and I'll duplicate that construction plan and I'll give this the same architectural presentation plan. And nothing's here because we didn't name any of these rooms yet. And while I'm at it, I just noticed these are going too high, so we're going to bring these only up to the first floor ceiling. So now I can come in here and give these rooms names. So you know what I'll do, Jeff? I think I have a plan. You gotta start, so you gotta somewhat think ahead in your room names when you're looking at doing presentation plans. So I'm going to rename this one presentation. And there's other options you can go about. It doesn't have to be based on the room names. You can actually, especially when you're talking about like showing 1 and 2 bedroom units against each other in a multifamily. But here, what I want to do is take our first floor presentation plan. I'm going to get rid of these other plans, close these other ones that we're not using anymore. I'm going to close that plan. I'm going to name this just entry without the T on the end. We're going to spell it properly. And I'm going to go to the second floor presentation plan. Actually, let's go to the second floor construction plan because I want the tags to be on here. And I'm going to put start room naming. And again, so we're going to call this entry as well. And you notice it continued, so the last one was 109, now went to 110, but I want this to be 201 because it's a new floor. And then I'm just going to continue with my rooms. And I'm going to do the same thing where put them in here. And I'm going to do that. And I'm actually going to go to my first floor construction. And I'm actually going to take these dimensions. I'm going to copy them. Go to the second floor. Align to current view. You notice it automatically didn't have the floor plan, below one, so it's not attaching itself to anything below there. And I want to get rid of this because I know that there's a little bit of a glitch where that's attaching to the porch below. And I'm going to make sure I'm on the wall and the edge of the roof, and I'm going to come here. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to close this and close that. And all of these are called room, so it's not useful. So let's go back to second floor construction. I'm going to take this room. I'm going to choose the pull down and choose the same name as below. I'm going to choose the bedrooms and make sure I don't spell it wrong. I'm going to choose the same as below. I'm going to take the 3 of these. We're going to get rid of the area. I'm going to choose these rooms and do the exact same thing. So closet. I don't remember if I named the one below bath or bathroom. So I'm just going to come here and choose it from the pull down. And I want this tag to have a leader so I can pull it out and make that leader more accurate to or a lot cleaner and easier to read than it was before. So now when I close my presentation plan, or a construction plan, I'm back to a presentation, and the color scheme has overlaid. So let's close this and close that and that. And what I want to do now is come to our sheets, new sheet, take the template which I created before, and I'm just going to do some setup before I even get to some of the other things on here. And I'll call this presentation plan. Put an S on there because there's going to be 3 plans on this sheet. I want to take a look at one more thing. I'm going to go to the presentation plan. Let's start with the basement one. I'm going to go to the view templates, and I want to change, because I know they don't fit the way we were putting them. I'm going to change it to 3/16 scale. So all of them are now going to be 3/16 scale. And let's go to presentation plans and now put these on a sheet. And automatically they align. I'm not going to go through this on this one, but I've talked before about changing how the view gets cut. I'm going to go to second floor and align that. So I'm going to move that over, cut that back, move that over, cut it back, move it over, and let that so that they all align. I'm going to pull this down, pull that one up, and that up. Now this is nice, but what do those colors mean? So what you can do now, view, maybe it wasn't view. Okay, I gotta run through these to remember where it was. Yeah. Okay, there it is, color fill legend. So I can go into this view, choose color fill legend, and put it there. And come here, color fill legend, and put a legend in. I can come in here, color fill legend, and put a legend in. So now I've got a legend for the plans that aligns to the colors of the rooms, and it's actually kind of nice because up, up, up. It really, I just want to clean this up, especially in this presentation plan. There we go. So now those rooms, furniture sort of pops on it, fixtures, it really starts to pop against this, and you can kind of see where windows and doors are by the cuts and the shadows, and the railing. It really starts to come together nicely. I want to edit where this room or where this view is, so I'm going to click on the show crop region. I'm going to cut our crop region back some, and that's well enough for this. And then maybe what I'll do for now, I am going to put a camera inside facing that way. Now it doesn't show a lot yet because we haven't, especially since we haven't built out a kitchen, but I can set it up. And I'm going to turn on ambient shadow, and let's see what it looks like with consistent color. Hidden line was a little nicer, a little more forgiving, we'll call it. Can't do depth queuing. I can set up a gradient. You can't even really see the gradient, but that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to set this up and come outside there. I'm going to rename that view to 3D interior view. And I'm going to put that on this sheet. Now, what I think I want to do next, I'm going to go to our first floor plan. And I'm actually going to build out a kitchen. I think I'm going to fit it over here. I think this window is going to have to change. Um, you know what? I actually may use that sliding one we brought in earlier, the 48 by 36. Make sure I set my head height because I think that's where I'm going to put this. That's what I'm going to use at the sink. So let's start by bringing in some components. CM, or I can click on architecture and then go to component. I already have a few loaded. So I'm going to start with a 33-inch refrigerator. I'm going to place that over here. And I've got other ones, so I've got base cabinets loaded. So I'm going to choose a, well, you know what? I actually want to have a wall pantry cabinet. So let's go to load. Uh, let's go to Imperial casement wall cabinet. Not wall, not, I wanted it tall, I wanted a pantry. And I just need a 2-door. And I want to, so I guess I already had them in. So let's, yep, I'm going to get a 30-inch one. So the side that you're putting it in is the back side of the cabinet. And I'm going to move our refrigerator. And I'm going to actually come here and just sort of see where it places. Because I want to build off other items. And so let's come here. Let's go and put a base cabinet in. I'm going to put in a, not a sink unit, double door, 2-drawer, 30-inch. And I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to actually measure it off of the pantry. So I know I've got a 33. I want to put a 36-inch space because I want to have the refrigerator. It's probably going to have an end panel and some other things. Put this 30-inch here. Now I'm going to put a sink one. So let's put a base sink unit. I'm going to go for a 36-inch sink unit. And again, the back side is where you're putting it in. So I want to align that there. Now I know if this is going to be my sink, I want the window to align to the center of it. And then I'm going to put another, maybe I'll put a 15-inch and then the range. So let's go for a base. And I'll go for a single, let's see, single door 15-inch. And I'll put that in. And I want to have enough room for a dishwasher. So I'm going to create this space. I'm going to measure off of here, put 2 feet between them. And then I'm going to copy this over here and I'm going to measure that off. And it's again measuring back to there. So I got to cancel. I'm going to take that and measure it by here. And I'm going to give myself 30 inches for a range. Now, did that, right? Let's take a look at that 3D interior view we created. Huh. It's beginning to look like a kitchen. Maybe I want to flip this one, so I click, hit the space bar. It flips it so it's now, they're both facing into the range. So let's go back to the first floor. Let's finish building this out. Let's put in, I've already loaded these, but a dishwasher. So that can go in there. And a range. I've got a nice 30-inch gas range that I want to put in here. And now we need to talk about countertops. So I got the basic countertop, a nice straight running countertop. And I'm going to put that on this edge. There. And I'm going to shrink that because I don't want it to go. Actually, I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Let's take a look at it and what it does. What happened is it's cutting across the range and going over there, which we don't want it to do. So go back to the first floor. We'll select it and we'll cut it back. And this is the same size, so we're just going to mirror it. We're going to use the mirror picking the axis, choosing the center of the range. And that's when we realize, even though it's a 30-inch range, the range itself, if you were to measure it, is 2'5" 3/4. And it's aligned on that side, so it's off over here. So what can we do? We can knock this down to 1/8 for starters, so now it's centered in that space. Now we just need to move this counter on top of there. Then I realized, wait a second, this whole thing is a counter that, or should be a counter, so that if we go to 3D interior, runs over the dishwasher, over these elements, and our dishwasher's a little far out. I don't know why. Let's pull that back so it actually is up against the wall here. Actually, probably easier if I pull it out all together and then use the move tool and just bring it back to here. And you can see it's a little out, so that'll do. Go back to our 3D view. Look at that. That's starting to look. But what about our sink? Our sink needs a hole, and we need to put a hole in there. So the countertops, when you go to load them, so go to Component, Load. I already have them loaded in, but I want to show this to you. Countertops, there's all different types. There's L shapes. There's L shapes that have a sink built in with a sink hole. There's an L where the corner is sort of caddied with a sink hole. You've got island ones, islands with sinkholes. So if you want to have a bar on the sink or a bar sink in there, straight ones with sinks and sinkholes and vanity. So I want to take what I want to do, because I already have it loaded, but I want to use one of the counters that already has a sink hole. So instead of loading it in, I just took the one, instead of deleting the countertop, I just took the counter and changed its type. And I'm going to grab the sink hole and bring it to the center line of the sink cabinet. And that sink cabinet we already aligned our window to the center of. Yeah, that works. Now, the most important part is to load a sink. Kitchen sink 30 by 21. Put it in, line it up to the hole, drop it in. Let's take a look. Bam. And let's add a hood. So I already have some loaded in again. I'm going to say the elevation from the ground is going to be 5 feet. I'm going to turn it so the back is facing the wall. And I'm going to place it right about there. You know, I'm actually not even going to place it there. I'm going to move it over. And then to figure out where it goes, I'm going to use AL to align. I'm going to select the center line of the range, center line of the hood. Let's go to our 3D interior view. And you can see the range is going up with the hood over top. And this looks pretty good. I could add some wall cabinets as well just to finish this off, but for our purposes, I think this is a good starting. You know, maybe I should. So I'm going to come in, components. Do I have wall cabinets loaded? I do. Okay. So the first piece we're going to deal with is going to be a 36-inch wall cabinet. I'm going to put it up against the pantry over the refrigerator. Bam. And we're going to have our first issue. I come here, it cuts into the refrigerator. So what I want to do, I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to call it a 36 by 12 because I only want it to be 12 inches high. We're going to go 12, and I'm going to hit OK. And the elevation from floor, we took 1.5 feet out of it, so I want to add 1.5 feet back in. So I use the equal for a formula, 1.5, because it always works in feet. And I'm going to hit OK, and now you can see it aligns with the top of the pantry. I'm still not sold about something because this is a refrigerator, you got the pantry. I think what I want, and I'm going to duplicate again, and I'm going to put it by 24-inch deep. I'm going to come to the depth. I'm going to change that to 2 and hit OK. And now the front aligns with the pantry over there. And I've got, let's take a measurement from will save, as the autosave told us to, the edge of here to the edge of our window. We have 2 feet. So I'd want to put in a wall cabinet, and it won't be, let's start with the 24 inch, and put that up against our other one, and take a look at that in 3D. And what you'll notice is it overlaps the casement around the window. So 24 might not be the right size. So let's come back. I'm going to choose it. I'm going to choose wall for our wall cabinets. And I'm going to choose a single door this time and bring it down to 21 inch. Whenever you change the size of something, it usually changes from the center line of that object. So now I'm going to align AL and bring the one side to the other and mirror this window, or this around. And this side, I think I'm going to change something. So I'm going to go from the edge of the hood to where I know I want that to be, 30 inches. So I'm going to choose the wall and put 30 in, so I already know I want a 30 inch. And I'm going to align to the edge of the hood. And I'm pretty confident that's going to work, so I'm just going to flip it around. And this side I want to drop down. You know what? How much? Yeah, so this below is a 15 inch, so I'm going to change this to a 15 inch wall and align the edges. And now just do some small things like flipping the handle on there by hitting the space bar. And now we have a pretty decent kitchen laid out here. Yeah, it's actually not bad. And I'm going to copy all of that kitchen. Make sure I grab the range and the refrigerator. Copy. I'm going to go to second floor construction, and I'm going to align to current view. So now I've got the same kitchen on both floors. Let's close that, our presentation. And if you go to presentation plan, it's a pretty nice setup. The lighting, I want to change the window here to match the one below. So I'm going to change that to the 48 by 36. I'm going to change my head height, and I'm going to align to the center of the sink. And then if I go to my elevations, especially that side, which I think was the south side, you'll see those windows aligned, and maybe I want to align the basement one. Yeah, that's a nice set of windows, alignments. Now let's talk about doing some tagging. I'm going to go to the construction plans. Actually, I'm going to use the sheet because it has all of them on it. I'm going to open up the basement one first. So I'm going to go to annotate. I'm going to hit tag all. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the door. I have it set to instance type. And I'm going to choose window. And windows are automatically an instant type. Make sure leader is off because I don't want leaders for them. And you'll notice it tagged all the windows here. So I'm going to go to the first floor plan, construction one, and do the same thing. I'm going to tag doors and windows. And I'm going to do the same thing on the next floor. Tag all, doors, windows. And I'm just now going to have to come in and just do some cleanup. So like this one here, I want to rotate it and get it out of the way of the room tag. Rotate, get out of the way of the room tag. Let's check the other, let's see, windows are pretty fine actually. I want to maybe move this one up. So I'll probably have to do the exact same thing here. And there. These are the same type of doors, so I'm going to move the same amount. And that all the rest is pretty fine. I actually want to add some stair tags, so I'm going to hit tag category. I'm going to turn off the leader and put on stair tags. And maybe this one I'll put over here. Yeah. Then come up here, and even though it's the exact same stair, I'll tag it anyway. Bring it in, and I'll tag this one, same thing. This stairs, and we probably have to play around with it a bit just because it's going into the wall. But we have a good starting point. And now we can create a schedule. I already have a few created, but I'm going to create one. Let's do doors. So we're going to do new, so right click on schedule, new scheduled quantity, or I can go to annotate, I believe it. No. Um, quantification. Nope. Where is it? It was quantification. No. Okay, we'll do it this way. Right click on the schedules, new schedule of quantities, and then these are all the different types of schedules you can make. I'm going to go to doors, because that's what I want. I want it in the new construction phase only. I'm just going to choose a few things about it. So I'm going to choose count, description. Let's choose, I'm going to choose family and type. We'll get back to some of that later. I'm going to put type in as well. I'm going to put the type mark because we're using type instance of doors. And I'm going to move these around. So I'm going to move the type markup. I'm going to move the family and type up because I'm not sure if I want to use this one or this one for now. So I'm going to hit, then I'm going to go to filter. Nope, I'm going to go sort by type mark. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to leave it for now, but notice this check mark for itemize every instance. And then there's some formatting things, so like you change the header, and we're going to just hit OK for now. So it creates this schedule. And you notice there's 51, and we talked about this earlier where I said I don't like using the door numbers so much as I like using the door types because I think it's easier to count or to say, hey, I need to order 4 sliding doors that are 72 by 80 versus having to count, okay, door 117, 36, and 24 are this type of door. Um, yeah, so I think I like the family and type because that gives you a size, but I don't really care for the combination of the two. So I'm going to go to Edit Fields. I'm going to click on Family and Type, click the Remove Parameter, and I want to group these by types. So we already sorted by type mark. The next thing I want to do is uncheck Itemize Every Instance. And now it says all of door 51s, which are sliding doors, 72 by 80, there are 4 of them. So I can now easily too. So what I'll do here, let's go to the plan. Let's take that new door schedule and put it on here. And I can grab these marks here to make this a little more organized. But I can also come in. Now what I want to do, let's find a place in the plan. We'll look right here. These are both door 69 types. I'm going to change these to 1. Actually, no. Just for now, cancel escape. Our entry door, I'll make number 1. Our interior, so it's going to ask me, it's like, oh, it's going to change this to all of them. It's like, yeah, I want to do that. Interior 2-panel door, that's 36 by 80. I'm going to make that 2. Yes, I want to do that. The other one, the 30 by 80, I want to make that a 3. And sliding door 4. 32 by 80, close. So our 36 by 80s are both 2. Our sliding doors are both 4. 3, 2, 1s. Pretty useful. And one of the things you might know or realize is that this door and this door are different. This one's going to the basement, this one is going into a fire-rated assembly. So what I might end up doing is taking this, hit edit type, duplicate, and maybe I'll make the new one FR for fire rated. So now it's changed it to door type 5. And how do I know that it's fire rated? I may come over here and okay, it's got a little FR in the type, but maybe what I'll do is add a new field, go to fire rating, insert that field, we'll move it up, and I'll call it, because even our entry doors need to be 20-minute fire rating. So we'll hit OK. Oh, 20-minute. Hit enter. OK. And then our door type number 5, that fire rated one, call that 20-minute. And maybe now I actually want to renumber so that our fire rated doors are sort of the beginning of the schedule. And close. And now we have a nice schedule. Shows our fire rated doors in this system. And the doors, we want to, so I already had a schedule. There's a bit more than I wanted needed. Shows frame types, finishes, but we're not going to use that in this one, so I'm just going to rename that to door schedule. And I can create a window schedule. And the window schedule, this one again has more than, like, I'm not going to have a lot of this information. I might keep the head height, but this is just for sort of preliminary design, so I'll get rid of a lot of those lines. And I'm going to come in here and do the same thing and rename these. So I'm going to call that 1. I'm going to call my second double hung 2. And the sliders, is that what these are? Yep, sliding doubles. So I'm going to call the bigger one that's over the kitchen 3, and the basement one 4. And it seems to be missing a field. To make this easier on the purchasing side, I'm going to add count. I'm going to move the count up. Or maybe I won't. We'll figure it out. Yeah, let's move both the count and the family up to here. And we're going to sort by the type mark, and we're not going to itemize every instance. So when we have the count, it'll tell exactly how many of each there are. And this gets really interesting when you start putting in other information. So if I come down, I can add in sort of specific models and makes of manufacturers, but I could also create a new parameter, and we'll call this one price. And it's going to be it's going to be a parameter of a number. And let's just see here. No, it's not a dimension, it's not any of those, not a force, it's not a, yeah, so that's fine. So we'll leave it like that, and I'll hit OK. And then maybe I'll create a new calculated parameter, and we'll call it a total price. And this one in common, it's going to be a number again, and it's going to be a formula, and this formula is going to be the price times why is there no count? I don't know if that's going to work. Count cannot be utilized in a formula in a multiple appearance. Cancel then. So we'll just leave that 1. And so if I created some prices for this, so let's say this window is 250 and this window is 200, and these ones a slider, who knows, it might be 275, and this one's smaller, so it's like 225, I can now have that in there. And maybe, the appearance doesn't look the way I want it to. So I'm going to come the formatting, go to price, and I'm going to change the format of the field. So I'm going to go to field format. I'm going to take it off the default, change it to currency, round 2 decimal places, and put a dollar sign. And I can have euros and other ones, but I want dollar signs. I'm going to do that. Okay, okay. And now we have additional information about the window built in. So if the contractor comes back, or you have already priced these out or sent these out to a specific window manufacturer and gotten pricing, and you can pull that in data into here. So like I have Pella's window types on here, their 350 series. I've downloaded those, and I can come in here and put that information, including pricing, into the schedule so that when they go to price it out, we automatically know that's the price of it. So how about room finishes? We can create that as well. Let's stretch this out. And so we have our room finishes. I'm going to move this and bring this over and bring the 2 up. So I can go through and edit this field with material types. One of the other things I can do though is I can do the same thing I did before. So I can go to sort, and I can sort by the name and have it not itemize every instance. The numbers are going to get messed up, but it helps when I go to do the finishes. So I'm going to do just concrete floor, and we're not going to have a base. Here we're not currently don't have any walls, and then here we're going to have a gypsum chipboard ceiling. In the bathrooms we're going to have ceramic tile, a base of ceramic tile, walls is going to be painted chipboard, and a ceiling of chipboard as well. And I'm going to copy, I'm going to come down here and use the same painted chipboard in the walls and almost everywhere except for the porch. I'm going to use the same chipboard ceiling in all the rooms except the porch. I'm going to make my bedrooms. I'm going to have wood floors and wood bases. I'm just going to copy those into there. And maybe I'll have a Trex floor on the porch. There's no base, no one that. So now I can come back into my sorting and I can start to itemize again. And it quickly filled in all of those so that these rooms all had information inserted rather quickly. Like it wasn't sort of wasting time copying each one, but just by switching from itemized to not itemized, I was able to fill in the table much faster. And so now we have, this took us a few hours, yes, but we have a lot of information in a preliminary plan that was done rather quickly. And I'm going to change the view, just pull these in a little. And to go to this level of detail in a preliminary plan with this level of accuracy, now when we get to going to do our CDs or even just some of the editing. So let's say our client comes back and they say they want the um, bathroom to extend or the one room or this bedroom to pull forward. You're just moving these elements as a group. You're not, so I'm going to cancel. But like I can just, the kitchen wants to change or they want to add an island it's a little easier and they're able to visualize it a little better than what you were able to do in CAD. And so even though we spent a good amount of time setting up this drawing, the same amount of time we would have spent setting up a plan in CAD and labeling this level of detail, we were able to do that and have the elevations. And all of our elevations have shadowing and colors and have planting in sight. We got a lot more done in a lot less time and with a lot higher level of accuracy using Revit. So I think this is a good place to take a quick break on this video. Actually, I want to show one more thing. So I have in my title block a set of labels here, and where that information comes from. If I go to Manage, there's a bunch of parameters here, but I've got project information. So over here, I can set up things like the issue date, this drawing's issue date, which is more of an internal, but you can put it on the plan, onto your title block. Project status, we're going to call this preliminary design, owner. I'm going to just put some hash marks because I don't need you to know that right now. 87 North 18th Street, East Orange, New Jersey. Block 61, lot 6, I believe it was. Project name, new 2-family house, and project number. This one, PA02, I believe it was, and it can automatically fill in some of that information. So when I go to now I just want one more schedule actually, and I think this schedule is one of the best. So I'm going to come to schedule, new sheet list, and on there I'm going to put the sheet number, sheet name, and you know what, I'll leave it at that for now. So it creates it automatically, sorted by what's being sorted by, and I can grab that sheet list, put it on my front page here, and yeah, it's pretty accurate. So there's little things. So here in the site, our hood, all the labels for those and stuff are showing up. So I'm going to hit V, or VG to go to our visibility graphics. I'm going to go down to specialty equipment. I can open it up. But what I want to do is just hide that whole thing because none of that stuff really needs to be seen from the site plan. And close that. And I'm going to come over here. I think I'm going to turn off the sketchy lines. I think I want to see this a little cleaner, a little sharper. And I'm going to close that. I want to move this a bit so it'll better aligns with the plan below. Yeah, I think that's a little better. And that was a mistake. I want those to align vertically. And I can think about maybe some other things. So now I've got this house pretty well laid out. And so some of the things we did, we linked things to each other so that if this whole house, say, had to get bigger or smaller, all these walls are kind of linked together and it would change together. But we have a pretty complete set of plans here right now. So what I want to do is now I'm going to print this. I want to make a PDF of this for my client. So I'm going to PDF. I'm going to hit the properties. I want to change it to a high quality print. Now, I don't know if they fixed this yet. I think I saw that there was an update where they fixed it, but printing can get stuck. So I like to turn off the add document information. That will skip that one little glitch in the PDF making that gets it stuck, Revit stuck. So I'm going to then change my paper size to match the ArcD, the 24 by 36 this is. I'm going to go down here to print range. I'm going to select views and sheets. I'm going to turn off the views because I only want to print the sheets, and I'm going to check all of those and hit OK. I'm going to hit no because I want to save that for the next one. Next thing you'll notice is when you have multiple sheets, you have a choice of how your files come out. Either they combine and create a separate file for each page, but I want to combine them into a single PDF. And I want to come down to settings because there's one other thing. It has it set automatically to zoom to fit. And so what it's going to do is take my outside line on here, which is a 24 by 36, and scale the 24 to 36 to fit within the margins of the 24 by 36 page. What I really want is to zoom at 100. I want this to be the full scale, full size, and I know that this outside line is going to get cut out, but I also know that this buffer on the staple side I want to keep, and I want to keep these margins, and I don't want it to scale anything inside. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit no for now. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to have to choose my location, 87 drawing. We'll put my plots, and I'm going to give it today's date, which is 12/12. Oh, I didn't realize it was 12/12. And I'm going to call this sketch 4. And I'm going to save. I'm going to give it a second so it can finish making the PDF. It's going to go page by page. And this one has more graphic intent because especially this one, this is a very rendered view, so it's getting every one of those plants and tree leaves at the high quality rendering that we told it to. I'm just going to give it just a little bit to finish rendering that all out. Some of the other ones will go faster because they're really just line drawings, vector lines. But we'll wait. And then you see automatically it's just skip to the next ones really fast. And so now I have PDF of the project we were just looking at done. Floor plans, elevations, sections, presentation plans color coded, a look at the inside, all on a single PDF. This level of information and detail we completed with me sort of going step by step to show you how this all works in a few hours. So I think Revit is a really powerful tool that you guys should all take a look at.